Of MOSFET. So MOSFET is nothing but metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. So FET stand for field effect transistor. Yeah, before going to that, so E MOSFET and D MOSFET, first you need to understand the classification of our transistor. Okay, so before going to that, you just tell me what is the meaning of transistor. First, we're looking for this is the classification of transistors. Next, FET stand for field effect transistor. Field effect transistor, and how why it is called field effect transistor and how what is the operation we'll see with the taking of E MOSFET. And next, mainly it consists of four terminals. So one it is called gate, another one it is source, another one it is drain, and one more it is called bulk. Bulk, or it is also called as substrate. Okay, so when come to on a BJT, we know that, right? Emitter, base, collector. Similarly, when come to on a field effect transistor, we have the components like source, gate, and drain. These are the terminals of my FET. And one more, you have a bulk, or it is also called, it is a substrate. And the type of the FET, maybe it is a N channel FET or P channel. Generally, we are going to classify. So it's totally depend upon what type of material we are going to use inside my field effect transistors. Okay, let's move on to that. Generally, this is a FET, field effect transistor. Then what is the meaning of MOSFET? Split this one. MOS means metal oxide semiconductor. See, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. Then what is the meaning of metal oxide semiconductor means? Once come to on a structure, we are going to use a metal at the gate. Gate, we have a three terminals, right? Here we are going to use some metal components here. Okay, so that's what is a metal. And next it is metal, and we are going to use one oxide here. It is, that is silicon dioxide. Also we are going to use as an insulator. So that's why it is called metal oxide semiconductor. It's normal field effect transistor. And it is also called as insulated gate field effect transistor, because here I'm going to use one silicon dioxide as my insulator, and also we are going to use gate, we are going to use insulated gate field effect transistor. It is also called IGFET. But generally MOSFET is nothing but metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. And second thing, it is this point you should remember, the my MOSFET, it is a voltage control device. By using the voltages easily I can control. So that's why if I take an BJT and FET, we have taken the output current means we are going to deal with the, what is the collector current it is coming in this terminal. So in the first year state, right? Base, this is a base, this is an emitter I'm going to take, and this is the collector if I'm going to take. So generally we are going to take on the output equation. IC is equal to some equation. IC is equal to beta times of IB or something. We are going to take on one equation. Because it's a current control device. My output current, it is controlled by some of the parameters. But here it is my MOSFET, it is a voltage control device. This is the difference. You should know that. Okay, my MOSFET, it is a voltage control device, and it has a four terminals. That's what I'm telling: drain, source, gate, and body of that body, it is called a substrate, or it is also called bulk, or it is also called base. So this is about the MOSFET. These are all the points you should remember. So MOSFET means metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. It has a four terminals like drain, source, gate, and the body, or it's also called substrate and bulk, and it is a voltage control device. Okay. Next, how I'm going to classify my MOSFET. This is very important thing. Remember, generally we are going to classify it here. It is of four types. One, it is channel, type of the channels. It is the N channel or P channel. Again, N channel or P channel. And next, N channel, P channel, we are going to classify it into another two things. One, it is enhancement mode, otherwise depletion mode. Sir, what is the difference between enhancement mode and depletion mode? This is a difference, you should know that. See, when come to an enhancement mode, for example, here I'm going to take, and this is my MOSFET. Here, initially, suppose if I'm going to take on some layer, here it is, means it having some voltages. If I'm going to take some voltages between the source and the drain, then that type of MOSFET, it is called depletion type of, means that layer, it is called depletion layer. If initially I'm going to considering some of the voltages, then that type of MOSFET, it is called depletion type of MOSFET. if there is no layer between my source and the drain, it's an initially it is an empty, it is there is no connection between my source and drain, that type of MOSFET it is called enhancement mode MOSFETs. So that's what we are going to classify here: n channel enhancement mode, p channel enhancement mode, n channel depletion mode, and p channel depletion mode. These are the four types of classifications of my MOSFETs. And in the symbols, how I'm going to write easily, I can see here it is, we have a depletion type and enhancement type. So what is the difference here? Only we can see here, when come to depletion layer, my this is called source, this is called drain, this is a drain, this is called source, and this is called gate. Here it is my source, it is a drain, source and drain it is connected continuous one line I'm going to take on. Here it is, if continuous line if it is there, then that type of MOSFETs it is called, it is depletion type. When come to see that, this is called N channel, and this is also N channel enhancement type. In the enhancement type, we are not going to connect it one line continuously. There is a split off, means there is no connection between my source and drain. If it is source and drain is continuously it is connected, so because of one layer, that is depletion layer, that is type of MOSFET it is called depletion type of MOSFETs. And second thing it is, we are looking for N channel or P channel. This is very important thing. Here it is direction, you can see that source direction, the electrons are moving outside here, electrons are moving inside here. If it is moving outside, this direction it is called outside, means toward the source, then it is called, it is N channel. And here it is moving inside, means it is called P channel. And here also same symbol, so outside means N channel, inside means P channel. This is the symbols of your MOSFET, should remember. And if continuously line is there, that is called outside, and this line is there, that is called N channel depletion type of MOSFET. If inside is there, this is called P channel depletion type. If it is split off is there, then you can consider N channel enhancement type and P channel enhancement type. That's what we are taking here. So here under this four classification, and commonly most common type of MOSFET what I'm going to use here, that is N channel enhancement mode. So today we are going to discuss about this one only, that is the N channel enhancement mode MOSFET. And these are the two differences. You can see that N channel E MOSFET and P channel. Again I'm telling, it is a drain, this is a source, and this is a gate. And center one, some of the cases we are going to take on, this is called substrate. And this is a enhancement mode. And this is a also another way also, this we can represent it in this way. And it is a P channel, means it is moving out for outerwards, the current it is flowing outside, so you are looking for the inside. Okay, so this is a classification, just remember. And the main thing we'll see that how they are going to ask. Move on to that E MOSFET. If I want to construct any one of the metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, some base material it is required. Remember, here I am going to explain for you, it is a N channel E MOSFET. If I'm talking about the N channel E MOSFET, means always we need to choose P type of substrate. For example, if I want to explain for the P channel E MOSFET, means that time you need to consider N type of substrate, exactly opposite substrate I need to use. So how to construct this substrate? So usually they're going to use a silica material. So they're going to add a P type of semiconducting materials. So that adding that material, they're going to construct it one basement. They're going to first initially they constructed, that is P type of substrate. So here I'm going to explain N channel E MOSFET. That's why I'm going to use P type of substrate. Next, here it is. I'm looking for N channel, means if I'm talking about the E MOSFET, means it is enhancement, means there is no initial channel between. So this is a terminal, this is a thing I'm going to use it for the source, and this is a I'm going to looking for the drain. Initially there is no channel between my source and drain. That's why it is called enhancement mode. If depletion mode, means I'm going to consider one channel here between these two. And second thing it is N channel, means I'm going to use another two materials for the source as well as drain. Between the source and the drain, by adding some impurities like N type of semiconducting material, we are going to make two things. One it is source, another one it is drain. Next, after these components, we are going to added some silicon dioxide, that is act as it is dielectric, means here it is act as one of the insulator. After that, we have three terminals that is made by some metallization. They are going to add some aluminum metallization. By adding that, they can construct the source terminal, gate, and it is drain. That process, it is called, it is metallization layer. And this is a symbol, this is a structure, it is called your E MOSFET, that is N channel E MOSFET. Okay, and finally, after adding this one, this is a final symbol of your N channel E MOSFET. Here you can see that you have a one, it is source, another one it is gate, another one it is drain, and next you have a silicon dioxide materials, it is act as an insulator. And next it is a, initially for enhancement type we don't have a channel here. Next, p type of substrate I'm going to use, and n type of doped materials we are going to use for the source as well as drain, and this is also called substrate. And in order to connect my source and drain, we have a metal connection. By using the metallization process, we are going to design this. This is the structure of it is E MOSFET. Okay. Okay. So first, I'll take the one condition. So let's move on to the working process. I told that here major thing it is I'm looking for this junction. I'm talking about this is a very important thing. So current flowing, everything should be takes place between here only. Because of substrate, I already make this is a P type of semiconductor, and this is a NPN. This is a complete, it is NPN material only. I'll take this part and I'm going to explain with respect to different combinations of my drain and have a gate and have a source. Different combinations or combination voltages of my source voltage, gate voltage and drain voltage, and I'm going to analyze this. Let's move on to that. I'm going to take on only NPN material separately. Here you can see that this is a N, this is a P, and this is N. And I already told that N it is connected to the source here, and here another N it is connected to the drain, and you can connect it here. You can see that one N I'm going to connect to the source, another connected to the drain, and next you have a P type of material. For an explanation purpose, I'm going to take an I'm going to apply some of the voltages, that is VDS as well as VGS. VGS is nothing but gate to source voltage. I'm going to take on power supply. So I'm going to apply between the gate to source. Gate it is connected to the positive power supply, and here it is negative. I'm going to connect it here to the source. Similarly, VDS, drain to source. Drain to source, I'm going to apply some of the voltages. Different combinations of my VDS and VGS values, I'm going to analyze this one, how it is working. So here I'm going to take on the two conditions. So first cases I'm going to take on VDS and VGS are both are positive values. Under that positive conditions, looking for here, VDS initially I'm going to take on VDS drain to source voltage, it is greater than 0, and VGS is equal to 0. I need to analyze what is happening here. Second condition same, my drain to source voltage it is greater than 0, and VGS values it is greater than 0. This is also 0. What it is the meaning? Initially I'm not going to give any voltages here. Means I'm going to consider 0 volts here. I want to analyze what is happening in my circuit. Later I'm going to give some greater than 0. I'll give some positive voltages. I'll give some positive voltage across the gate. Then I need to analyze what is the operation it's going on. Okay, let's move on to the first condition, that is VDS. It is so it is common, trying to source voltage I'll give a greater than 0 condition only, just I'm changing my VGS values. Let's move on to that first condition. VDS it is positive and VGS it is equal to 0, means I'm going to give some gate to source voltages. Because of gate to source voltage it is equal to 0 means, if gate voltage is equal to 0 means, then what will happen, see that when VDS is applied, it's tried to force the electron from source to drain, but P region does not allow to pass through it. Means N is nothing but electrons. I have electrons here. Here also have a electron, majority carriers. But you have a P type of materials here. It is. If both here also electron is there, then easily I can conduct. Current start to flowing here. But because of p type of material, then there is no electrons here. If there is no electron means it is act like a one of the barrier. It is not allowed to flow of electron from the source to drain or drain to source. This process not to happen because of my initially I'm not going to apply my gate to source voltages. Again I'm telling VDS, okay, drain to source you are going to apply some of the voltage, it is greater than 0 is there. But see, it's try to force the electron from source to drain. These electrons are moving, try to force from source to drain, but because of p type of material, so here majority carriers are holes, it is there is no channel it is found, then current does not flow. This is the first case. Second case, okay, so that's what that is the case what I'm going to consider. First case, at VGS voltage is equal to 0, then there is no current. If there is no current means ID value is equal to 0, thus it is also called normally MOSFET it is off condition. Means if I'm going to consider VDS value it is positive, but suppose if I'm going to consider my VGS value is equal to 0, that time MOSFET we are going to that condition I'm going to take a MOSFET it is off condition. It is not conducting. Second condition, VDS is equal to positive means greater than 0 and VGS also is greater than 0. So I'm going to apply some of the voltages here. Remember how it is operating. So once I'm going to increase VDS value it is positive and VGS value it is positive. Positive means I'm going to apply here it is. You see that plus 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 is there. Then I already told that in p types majority carriers are, even though it is in a holes, holes are positive charges and it has magnetic carrier also, right? So what happened because of positive here, the electrons present in the p type of materials will come to a junction of my semiconductor, that is insulating silicon dioxide we are going to take, and right, it will come to a junction here because I'm going to apply some VGS voltage. All the whatever the electrons is there, that electrons come to here. Clear? So that's what I'm telling here. It is when VGS is applied, G means gate it is induced negative charges in p type of material. Yes, because of this positive voltage it will induced some negative voltage here, p type of substrate adjacent to silicon dioxide layer. So this is called silicon dioxide layer. Okay, so that's why when yeah, so negative charges p type subtract, then the induced negative charges are formed by attracting the free electron from the source. See what happened here, it is the induced here negative charges that are induced, right? So this negative charges what it will do, it will try to attract. So negative charges are formed by attracting the free electrons from the source. So it will be try to attract the electrons and try to form the channel. Here it is means here it will attracted and it will be formed. Next, see that when VGS it is still I'm going to increase, VGS is increased further, negative charges are induced and a thin layer of electrons are formed. See that? Still I'm going to increase my VGS value. If increases means my positive charges are continuously it will be increases here it is. If positive voltage is continuously increases, then negative charges also it is exactly opposite because attracted, right? Positive and negative will try to attract. Then in this junction, so negative charges it will keep on it is increasing. So that's what when VGS is increased further, more negative charges are induced and a thin layer of electrons are formed. So under silicon dioxide layer from source to drain. From this is a source to drain. Once it is formed, then what will happen? It will try to flow the current here. It is see, that's what I'm telling. So thin layer of electrons act as a layer of n channel called as n type of inversion layer. So this is act as one layer here it is, and it is helpful to move the electron from source to drain. So here it is try to move electron from source to drain. So how it is helping? See that drain it, sorry, source it is connected to negative power supply. If I'm going to connect the negative power supply here, then here it is electrons also it is negative power supply, so repel to each other. Then now electrons try to move in this direction, Because you are going to connect it, it is positive power supply here. It is because of positive, electrons try to attract it here. Now all the electrons try to move from source to drain. Then already told that once electrons are moving from the source to drain, exactly opposite direction current start to flowing, means current start to flowing from drain to source. Okay, so this is a thin electrons layer acts as a layer in n channel called n type of inversion layer. Next, the minimum VGS at which inversion layer is formed is called threshold voltage. Remember, so definitely the channel it is formed and electrons current start to flowing, and minimum voltage it is required to form this inversion layer. One layer it is formed, right? So it is required some of the voltages, that is called threshold voltage. If I give, then only there is a channel between the source and the drain, then only current start to flowing. Otherwise it will be present at the normal condition only. So that voltage it is called threshold voltage, that is called VGS. TH means grade to source, TH stand for threshold voltage. And next, that's what I'm telling, through this layer the current id start flowing from the drain to source and electrons move from the source to drain. That's why electrons are moving from the source to drain and the current start to moving from the drain to source, exactly opposite direction. So that's what I'm telling here it is. And the currents here it is, see that is I'm taken, this is a condition, minimum voltage to switch on this one. So initially I'm going to take an VGS is equal to less than VGS threshold voltage, there is no current. And VGS it is greater than some threshold voltage, then equal, then current, then only current start to flowing, then only the inversion layer need to be formed. So this is a small operation of the EMOSFET. So yeah, so VDS positive, that's right. Above a certain values of my VDS, drain to source voltage, the drain current ID become constant and reaches its saturated level. I'm talking about continuously, if I'm going to apply voltages, continuously I'm going to increase my VGS voltage, everything it is okay to me. Electrons are moving from source to drain, that is also okay to me. Then how much current it is flowing from drain to source? So once it is reached, see, it is totally depend upon this one. At a certain values of VDS, the drain current ID become constant. If you keep on increasing my VGS also, then it will come to a constant of my drain current. So that is a level it is called, reaches it is a saturated values. Okay, that is explained by the characteristics. Let's move on to the drain current characteristics, or it is called drain characteristics. See that here I'm going to plot the graph with respect to my VDS versus drain current. Okay, here my drain current I'm going to take in the microamps. Okay, and VDS. You can see that here these are the values of VGS, different values of VGS. Initially I'll take it 3 volts, next 4 volts or 5 volts or 6 volts or 7 volts. If my VGS value it is increasing, initially if I'm going to change my drain source voltage or drain current also it is high. But after some time what happen, it will come to a saturation. Okay, initially first case what I'll do, okay, I'll consider 7 volts of my VGS and I'll change my VDS values. So initially if less values is there, current start to increasing gradually. After some time, if you keep on increasing my drain to source also, what will happen? It will come to a saturation condition. Similarly, if you maintain the 6 volts, means compared to the 7 volts, 6 volts condition, if you keep on decreasing my VGS values, then the current also, initial current also is gradually it is decreasing. That's all. It is a maximum current, it is a compared to this one less, and this one less, and this one it is less. Clear? So what I'm trying to tell here it is, so if I'm going to increase my drain to source voltages, so by keeping the constant of my VGS, after certain conditions, my drain current it will be saturated. So saturated means it is a constant. Clear about this? If I'm going to plot the graph as a drain voltages, drain to source voltage with respect to ID, means drain characteristic, it will come to a picture. So when come to here it is, I'm going to plot the graph VGS with respect to drain current, then it is called transfer characteristics. And here it is also same thing, you can see that if I'm going to increase my VGS value, then drain current initially it is less, Once it is reaches to minimum voltage, VGSTH means threshold voltage. So that's what my input voltage VGS value, if it is VGS value, if it is less than VGSTH means threshold voltage, output current it is 0 only. My drain current it is 0 only. Once it is reaches to threshold voltage, then gradually suddenly start to increasing the values. So suddenly start to increasing my value. Then so that's what I'm taking here. It is these are called representation of your transfer characteristics. And next thing it is, this is the drain current equation. This thing you should remember. So drain current is nothing but K into VGS minus of VGSTH whole square. So K is a constant. Remember, just K is into VGS minus of VGSTH whole square. So these are the characteristics, and where I'm going to use applications, you can see that integrated circuits and ICs we are going to use for produce the CMOS type of logic gates, and power switches we are going to use, and PMOS and NMOS semiconductors they are going to use that. In terms of PMOS and CMOS, they are going to use it as a power switches. Okay, this is the this is the operation of your E MOSFET.